in this video we will start learning about Scala. So basically our approach will be like doing some small easy problems to get familiar with the basic syntax of Scala. So in later videos we will explore more conceptual stuff in Scala. So today we'll solve this to some problem in Scala. Okay, so what is this problem? uh, so in this basically we are given an array of integers. uh, so basically we have to find two numbers such that their sum equals to target. We have to return the indexes of those two numbers. Okay, so and it is saying exactly one solution with it. Solution will always be there. Okay, and we cannot use the same element twice. Okay, these are the conditions. Okay, so let's see one simple example here. So let's say we have 2 7 11 15 and our target is 9. Okay, so our goal is to return two, because these two numbers are summing up to 9, so their indexes are 0 1, so we should return 0 1 as a result. Okay, so problem is easy. So here we will solve this using brute force approach only, because our main goal is to look into Scala. Okay, uh, and as we know, like better approach could be to use map, right? So that we are not looking. We will look into the brute force approach here only. Okay, so and the brute force approach is like very easy. We will iterate over all the elements one by one, and uh, whenever we are on a particular element, what we will do, we will check it for the remaining elements, whether it is able to uh, sum with them and give us the target or not. Okay, so basically two for loops we need. So here we will learn like basically how to iterate over arrays and how to use for loops in Scala, because in most of the problem we are going to use these two concepts. Okay, so here is a very simple code I have written. uh, so first of all, if we see how we define functions, right, what are objects, that we will see later on. But here the important thing which we should see is how we defined a function. So this looks familiar, like to Python, right? The initial part, how we this is like we def and inside this we are passing the parameters along with the data types. So it's a very good practice that we should follow for a practical purposes, where we should give the data types. This helps to avoid many errors, right? So nums is our array. So how we are, this is our array data type. This is how we give, right? So here we are not seeing how to create array, but just look into it, like how we can how the data types are used, right? And the returning also we can give what will be the return type of this function. And here you can see we have used equal to sign, and then we are inside the curly braces, we are going to define this function. Okay, okay, so for loops, so basically how we use for loop and how we can iterate over this array. So this is how num dot indexes is like an collection of indexes of these arrays, right? uh, uh, and I will iterate over all of those indexes from 0 to length minus 1. Okay, so here you can see our second for loop, j. So now how we want j to iterate from I plus 1. So this is how we are going to give it, that I plus 1 is our starting value. this is included in j until nums dot length, and as we know that this nums dot length will not be included, right? Here also we see how we can use if inside Scala. So it is very easy. And also here seeing here like how to choose a element from an array, right? Here you see it's normal our bracket, not the square brackets, right? And similarly, uh, as in other coding languages, here also we are having double equal to sign to match it, right? Okay, so if we got the match, we can simply return the array. So this is how we are creating an array, right? ing, uh, like in Python we give a list, and inside that we can pass the elements. So here also we are using array keyword, and if there is no answer, then we are simply here returning an empty list, right? Okay, so this like uh, by practicing more and again doing it again and again, like different problems and implementation, these thing will become it will become used to, right? And we don't have to memorize anything here. Okay, so but yeah, so there is one more thing. When you if you write this code, you are going to face an error. So what is the error basically? Here you see we are doing a return function inside the for loops if, right? So this is called non-local return. So now what's the issue is like this is not considered a good practice basically. So here you can see it will throw an error at this line. This is the error that non-local returns are no longer supported, and it is suggesting us to use boundary in Scala instead of. Okay, so what Scala says about it, like in the official documentation, if you see, it is saying that this is deprecated from their side in the official the repo of the Scala, if you see. So they have like implemented a check basically that you cannot do this, right? So what they are basically saying is that this is rarely used this is rarely what is intended by the programmer, that programmer does not intendly want to return that between when the code is running, between only it should return anything. Generally in the production level code, this is not the requirement, right? It can be problematic. Why? Because of the hidden performance cost of throwing and caching exceptions. So if you are putting multiple, now if you are in between, if you are returning things, then you have to put lot of checks and exception or handling also, right? So then you have to put this exception handling at multiple places also, right? and and internally Scala also does lot of checks and exception handling. Okay, uh, so that's what it is saying, like there will be a hidden performance cost. Furthermore, it is a leaky implementation. Cache all exception handler can intercept a. Yes, so this non-local return exception, this is implemented like within Scala hidden from us. So this will get uh, uh, invoked and we will get an exception. So they are suggesting that we should use non-local returns. Uh, Instead of non-local return, we should use boundary. So boundary is a concept here. So we will simply see like how what is the implementation here. So as we can see, like boundary is like uh, inside the boundary we could uh, return our we can return multiple places. We can simply break the boundary as we want, and the final output of this boundary, like this boundary is itself now behaving like a piece of code, like piece of function, right? uh, which we were doing here. So here we were returning in between, but now we will create a boundary and it will return. Okay, so here you can see, first of all we have to import like boundary and break. So break is needed like at whatever places you want to, um, non-local return which you are doing. So instead of doing those, we will break at that point. So here you can see, instead of it, and yeah, here you can see now we are storing the result in a result variable, and this is how we are creating a boundary. So this, inside this boundary, now you can break this based on if else condition at multiple places and return the result. And if we found nothing in this for loop, it will store the value of empty array in the result, and at the end we are returning this result, right? So here you can see, just by typing the variable name, it gets returned in Scala. Okay, here also you see we have not written here anything written or something like that. It is internal working of Scala basically. And here when we are using break, inside that we have given array. So means whenever break will happen, it will return this aij, and it will get stored in the result. So these are the thing. So this is a important concept to know, which you can like, which could be asked in interview also. So we should be ready for this as well, right? And if you are given to solve any DSA problem in interview, you should be aware of this, because uh, what if, I mean, you could be asked to solve on a online compiler, something like that. Okay, so this is it. Thanks.